Hi, my name is Spencer, and I'm 17, and I live in the bright and sunny Michigan weather. Well, we're gonna start this off with the title of the video. So, as expected, my life isn't all about me being transgender. It's about other things. Like, I have many layers in my life, like band, two friends, and band. Yeah, that's my layers. And of course this. This is part of my backstory of my life and everything like that. So, as you read by the title, I have something called Abdominal Migraines. It's not well known, and it's annoying, and it's a butt. It's like straight out a butt. So, you're either watching this video because you're doing research on this from a topic that your doctor had brought up from your child, or even you, and you just came back to my channel for my other videos. I don't know. So, well, let's just get this started and not look at my annoying hair today. Okay, we're good. We'll be fine. So, let's get this started out what it is. So, abdominal migraines is this weird thing that happens for some whatever reason because your triggers. So, basically, it's in a migraine in your head and in your stomach. That's what I describe it as because that's how I feel. It's really nothing but that. There's no really scientific evidence on why we get it and why these symptoms occur and all those things because it's just not that well known. I was diagnosed at 9 and I suffered for 4 years because I started when I was 5 with abdominal migraines basically. And it was a roller coaster. Up and down and mess, everything. But I was diagnosed by a doctor named Dr. Lyons. I have no clue what his first name is, but I was referred to him through my pediatrician, Dr. Abdominal, who brought up the diagnosis and brought it to Dr. Lyons because Dr. Lyons specializes in abdominal migraines and gastroenterologist for kids, pediatrician gastroenterologist. That is his title name. So we went there and we got diagnosed. But basically, it was a fun roller coaster. So here's my story. Like I said, the age of 5 is my first migraine that we know of, that we think was the first migraine. Yeah, I just got done eating Checkers, Michigan restaurant. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but it was pretty big back then when I was 5. That was about 12 years ago, and I thought I developed food poisoning. Yeah, wasn't food poisoning. It was horrendous. I was very sick in bed for a day. One day I was vomiting nonstop and in a lot of pain, head and stomach. And we thought it was food poisoning, but I had no other symptoms. And I became really dehydrated and I was very pale and my mom was really concerned. She's like, "What's going on? This isn't food poisoning, I don't know what this." So I went to the hospital that day, stayed in the hospital for 3 days and had IV pumped through me. I had probably anti-nausea medication. I know I had a lot of Motrin being pumped through me for being 5. And they diagnosed me with what? Food poisoning. They're like, there's no fever, there's no signs of the stomach flu going around. So it just is food poisoning. They didn't even like test because they can't really test anything out to see if it's like food poisoning or not. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they did a lot more tests. I know I got my blood type figured out when I was in the hospital then and all that mumbo jumbo. Well, that was basically my first encounter. And then after that, my episodes came from 5. Well, only one when I was 5. Only one when I was 6. And then 7, I had multiple. It went from 1 year, like 1 a year, to about 2 or 3 times every couple months. I would have them, and then escalated to every other week, and then once a week, and basically becoming immobile for a straight week, going in and out of the hospital. That was fun. That was when I was 9. That was when I started being diagnosed. My Dr. Abdominal referred me. So, basically when I was 9 and I was nonstop sick, they did a upper GI, lower GI, stomach CAT scan, full body x-ray, MRI for my head, an EEG for my head, and I think they also did a CAT scan for my brain. Oh, I also got equilibrium testing to see if my equilibrium was off or not. That's why it was causing me nausea, which wouldn't explain the pain, but now I also got a bunch of blood tests and allergy tests done, which I'll explain later on for the allergy test reasons. And all of them came back negative, nothing wrong. Literally nothing wrong. Well, the EEG revealed that I did have migraines, and it's not a fun sight with migraines. So they just basically linked it, and they're like, well, this makes sense. It's abdominal migraines. It all makes sense. You guys can be put on medication for this and be pushed away. So that's basically what we did. I went on medication. I went on, I don't know, here's the name of it. First one, it made me gain a lot of weight. It made me very depressed at the age of 9. Yes, I was extremely depressed at the age of 9 because of this medication, which also triggered a lot of other things that I don't talk about. And we got off that. We got off that in a month. And we're just like, no, that is not what I'm taking, because my child cannot be depressed at the age of 9. They're supposed to be going on the playground playing, and they're literally sitting on the swing, not even swinging, just hating their life. So I went on a trusty dosage of amitriptyline, started off with 10 milligrams, and then I escalated to 25 when puberty hit, and then I hit 50 when I was done with puberty, and now I'm on 75, about to go to 100 because I grew. Again. Basically, you're supposed to be growing out of these a year or two after puberty. Hopefully. Like, pray to the Lord you do. That's what my doctor said, and all the doctors I've heard said that. And that is very false. Actually, I think it's 7% of the kids in the United States have abdominal migraines, and 3% of adults have them from being a child, I think. I think that's what the statistics was, or something like that. I read it on, like, Mayo Clinic or something around there. And that's, like, a very slim chance of keeping it when you're growing up. But that's just me. It is gonna stay my whole life. We have ruled out that it's not gonna leave. It gets worse as I grow up. But here's some symptoms that you get when you're about to have your migraine. So, say your triggers, you didn't avoid any of your triggers one day, and you know it's gonna come. You have this feeling. That feeling's most likely right. Not kidding. If you ever have a feeling that you're gonna have a migraine, I suggest you take your emergency medication, or if you do not have emergency medication yet, take a couple Motrin, and lie down, rest your body, and basically that's it. That you need to really do if you don't have emergency medication. Emergency medication does help me. I take a Zofran, 25 milligrams of Zofran, and take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So yeah. Another thing you will notice, instead of that feeling, if you know that feeling, you're like, no, you get auroras, like a normal migraine, you will get auroras. Listen to those, especially because that means your head is going to get a pounding headache in the next, 10 minutes because of your migraines, and it's not going to be fun. And okay, I'm sorry for messing around my hair so much. It's a mess, and I'm getting it cut soon. A symptom of it is lack of eating, and it's really hard for me to eat if I'm not feeling well, basically, before my migraines. Some symptoms, this is how the symptoms start out when you are having migraines. Praise the Lord that they never happen, because I hate them with a burning passion. So usually it first starts off with me for nausea. My stomach feels weird, and I get really nauseous, that I'm going to throw up, but I'm not going to throw up, and it's just in between. And then my skin turns very pale, I'm very pale and cyanotic, and it's not a pretty looking face. It's it's like a ghost. I'm not even kidding. My skin loses all its yellow tint, and it's just white. After that is usually a headache. I get a blaring headache. The sound waves ruin my equilibrium, which makes me throw up, and then the light sensitivity is outrageous, and I can't look with the lights on. I will walk around with a black mask over my eyes. If I go to the hospital, I have an emergency kit to go to the hospital. That is a very dark blindfold, earplugs, and a blanket that like we do in the car. We don't really, it's just so I'm warm because of cyanotic issues makes you cold. After the headache becomes stomach pain. For me, that's last, but for some people, it can be first. The stomach pain is basically, for me, is like someone is taking my muscle. I don't remember what the muscle's called because I haven't studied the muscles in like 2 years. And it squeezes, releases, squeezes, releases. So it's basically like cramps, but even worse than some menstrual cramps that I've experienced. It's worse than mine. And I'm pretty sure it's worse than a lot of other people's. Like, people have it bad, but, like, abdominal migraines are just extremely bad. It's basically a period times 300 when it comes to pain for me. And it gets bad. After all the pain sets in, I go to sleep. Like, I'll get knocked out from my medication, which is, thank God, but at the same time, why do you take so long? But we're going to start on 2 triggers that I go through. So basically, your child is experiencing these for a reason. You're just not coming up with abdominal migraines because they're there. I mean, sometimes it happens, but that's not really true. There's always one trigger factor, and it's always like there, and you have to watch out. So, my main trigger factor is anxiety and my depression and my stress levels. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, general anxiety, social anxiety, separation anxiety, and I'm diagnosed with another anxiety disorder I don't talk about, an OCPD. So those anxiety plays in a really bad factor because whenever my anxiety goes up, my depression goes up, and then whenever my depression goes up, my stress goes up, and whenever my anxiety goes up, my stress goes up. Whenever my stress goes up, my anxiety. It's just like all like a whole factor that triggers one because I'm in so much stress and so much panic that I start panicking about getting an episode. And then I panic even more because I am in an episode. I'm like in the middle of the episode and it's not fun. So mental illness has a lot of factors for me into these abdominal migraines. There's more physical triggers that I do experience. Being fatigued is a big one for me, and it really sucks when you're tired. You start to become nauseous because your body's just like working, putting more energy and putting more adrenaline in your body, and the adrenaline is triggering a migraine. That's what it does for me, and I think that's what it's going to do for a lot of people. Another physical symptom really sucks, especially if you live in the bright and sunny state of Michigan, where it rains never ever in life and it never snows. I mean, hey, which that factor is my vitamin D levels. I have a severe vitamin D deficiency. I have level 12 when you're supposed to have a level 50. I think you're supposed to have a 50 and up to 200. It's like a really big, huge gap. But my levels are so down that I have to take vitamin D every single day or vitamins because they get so low. I have no energy. I have migraines like the butthole, and I have a lot of bad things that happen when I'm in vitamin D deficiency. I actually can't eat meat when I'm in a vitamin D deficiency because my body shuts down. Another trigger for me is my allergies. I have both seasonal and airborne allergies and food allergies. I did an allergy test back then when I was younger, and it came back with some interesting stuff. So, oranges, clementines, grapefruits, tangerines. Basically that category. Oh, basically, I've heard from other people that allergies do cause abdominal migraines, and taking Benadryl every single day helps it out. I take Benadryl every single day, so my school, if I'm exposed to oranges or stuff, my reaction is delayed, and I can be able to apply the certain measures I need to in time for my reaction to oranges, because I do become anaphylactic, so I use allergy medication to help me counter that early. So yeah, that's what I do for that. And I do it for my seasonal allergies because I get really bad seasonal allergies. So basically, Benadryl is your best friend if you have really bad allergies and you have abdominal migraines, because that might be actually what's causing your abdominal migraines is your allergies. If you notice you're kind of a seasonal route of abdominal migraines. Basically, your love in life is medication when you have abdominal migraines. I'm not even kidding. So we're gonna get on some medication routes, and then that's basically all I have left in this. Okay. So basically, medication routes. Since I have a severe vitamin D deficiency, and most people with abdominal migraines do, you take magnesium supplements, which magnesium and vitamin D correspond hand in hand. So usually when your magnesium is up, your vitamin D goes up too. So that helps. Like I said before, I took that one medication, I can't remember. Now I take amitriptyline, and people have looked in natural herbs and stuff. Don't know anything about that. I probably will do that when I'm older and I'm off of my parents' insurance, because I'm on my parents' insurance till I'm 26, because I'll be in college. So usually when I'm off of that, I'll probably start doing alternative supplements and seeing what that is, but that's not until 8 years from now, so I can't really help you on that. But basically the burning question is, for every single person who has their child diagnosed with abdominal migraines, will they be able to go back to school? Can they live their life as a normal teenager? And what is their future in store? So I'm going to go off of my experience. Like I said, when I was diagnosed, I was out for a couple months at it. I was out for a month straight before. That is the longest I've ever been out. I've been out weeks, and I've been out days. I have my migraines under control now. So if I do end up having one, I have one for one day, do not go to the hospital, and I go in to school the next. Or I have them at night, and I miss school that same day of the night, and then go back to school next. I have them very under control now, and usually your kid will learn their triggers and learn what not to do, and things like that. Hopefully. It's a hopeful. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone's kids. So that's a good positive, that everyone will learn how to take care of themselves. I'm actually going to Canada next week, and my mom is actually trusting me and believes I can handle myself. And this is a big milestone for my mom, because I've been previously in band camp, and which is actually very close to here, and I've had a severe abdominal migraine episode there. I had it for a week, was on the field on and off puking. I literally marched with an abdominal migraine for 4 days straight at band camp. And my mom kind of freaked out when that happened. I went to the hospital. I was out for band for a week, and yeah, so she kind of freaked out. And then the next year I was fine at band camp, which was my 11th grade. This previous year I was fine. So this milestone for my mom letting me go to Canada is big, because I can actually be independent, and she trusts me when I do feel sick that I will take my medication. And during school, you can bring your medication to the office and tell them that I need to do this when I say I do, because it's not going to end well, and they're fine. I carry mine around personally. My security guard knows I carry it around, and they're okay with it. I know that's a really big liability issue with the school, but they're okay with it because they know that once my episode hits, it hits. Like, I literally will be vomiting the next, 5 minutes, and my school's huge, and you can't even go from one class to the other in 6 minutes that we have. So, they're fine with that. Basically, my high school life has been fine. I'm not able to work a job due to my mom's trust and everything like that with working and stuff. But I presumably would be fine with a job, and will have to let them know that I have to take days off if this does happen, and it's not going to be pretty when I do, and it's basically, that's just how life is, really. You can take days off when you need them, and I might need them. Friends-wise, I've had my friends still there. Only 2 of them, basically 2 of my friends that I love, know about this because they've watched me come down with an episode. and they freaked the frick out. And I was like, no, don't freak out. It's fine. I know what I'm doing. Like, I did that with my boyfriend, and I went to the hospital that day. And it was our 6-month, nope, it was our 1 year anniversary that day. And I had to go to the hospital because I had a migraine. It was so bad. I felt so bad for him. I was like, hey, you need to take me to the hospital. And he's like, what? I was like, I'm really sick and I can't live. So, I mean, it can be scary at points when you do come down with them, but you basically can live your life. And that's what I'm here to tell you. Live your life to the fullest, and abdominal migraines won't let you stop. I will see everyone in the next video, and hope you enjoyed this very long abdominal migraines video, and I hope you enjoyed my new intro. Bye.